What's up, y'all? Thanks for joining the Travel Tales and Talk podcast with Derek and Makayla. I'm Derek.
I'm Makayla.
Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. And we're back, episode 6, the Spanish departure. We're about to head back home from España. It's been about 8-9 days in Spain.
Close to 10.
April 14th is when we landed. We departed on April 13th. And we're headed back, and we leave out April 22nd to get back to the States. But we're leaving Sevilla via high-speed train back to Madrid. We're going back to Madrid. So we went back to Madrid for a couple of reasons. What were those reasons?
You wanted to go to this soccer game.
Don't put it all on me.
You know you did. I had already been to Madrid quite a few times. I didn't need to go another time.
Oh, man. Yes. So we're headed back to Madrid because I want to watch La Liga, soccer/football, which got shifted not once, but twice. And then the third time, cost was just outrageous. I couldn't do the cost of that final soccer match.
How much did it cost?
Well, if you want to talk about nosebleeds started out about $1,200 per person. And then if you want to go down a level, you're looking at about $1,700 and up.
You could have went.
No, ma'am.
I told you to go by yourself.
I couldn't do it. I can't do that. Something in my soul won't allow me to do that. My spirit will say, no, sir, we're not doing that. And then if you want to get further down, you want to get closer to the field, you're looking at about, cheapest ticket I saw was like 4,000 euros. That's per person.
Okay.
Can't do it. And then the other reason why is leaving from Sevilla to Madrid back to the States. That's an extra $300 on that flight. So it would end up being what I think $1,100 per person round trip if we would have left from Sevilla, which would have took us back to Madrid anyway.
Yeah, Madrid was the layover.
Yeah, Madrid was the layover. And so we're headed back to Madrid. And we're staying in a different hotel. And I actually like this hotel. It was in a swanky part of town. It may be the rich part of Madrid because it looked really nice. You had those exclusive high-rise apartments. We were next door to this university. I can't remember the name of the university. They had a mall. It was like, for us, like Germantown or something. Being from Memphis, this is what it felt like. We were in the affluent suburb of Madrid. And the design of the hotel was pretty cool, too. Yeah. You really couldn't tell it was a hotel. It was just a well-designed hotel. Mm-hmm. And those people, I am a platinum member of Hilton, and they wouldn't let us have breakfast or check in early.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You're right.
I felt some kind of way about that.
She was like, your check-in starts at 3 o'clock. We arrived at about 9, 10. And she was like, no, we're having breakfast now, but you're officially not
She said,
a
no.
guest. She says, tomorrow you can get breakfast.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay.
I guess my
pardon moi.
I guess my diamond status didn't mean anything in Spain.
Not in Spain.
They were not impressed.
Nope. But that's okay. That's okay because we did get breakfast the next day, and it was well worth the wait. It was delicious. And my thing is wherever we go, I have to be the first one there because
always.
Ever since I saw this woman take with her naked hand a piece of bacon out of the tray, just picked it up with her hand.
She don't need no tongs.
Didn't use any tongs, and I just ever since then I was like, you know what? Actually, it was ever since COVID. I've been real funny about it, but that happened a couple of months ago.
You're the first in line.
I'm the first, and I get up, I set my alarm. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I call the front desk and ask them to call me, and I go down there. And this particular day, I actually woke up London Rose. I'm like, yo, we got a breakfast a la 6. Get up. And we were down there, and we weren't even the first ones.
It's crazy. People probably think you're kidding, but she's dead serious.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to be the first person down there.
Most times I'm down there watching the people put the food out. Like, I don't play. Because I need to know, are you going to cough and not cover your mouth? Or are you going to cough? In Spain, they're real good about coughing into their hands.
And then
touching everything. I'm like,
everything.
When we were little, that was the way to go. But then we realized you're putting the germs into your hands and you're sharing it.
You're sharing it to everyone.
So it's like, man. But I'm telling you guys, that breakfast was so good. Everything was delicious.
I didn't get a chance.
Had just options, just different types of meats and pastries and fruits, you name it. Well, no, because a lot of the food I never seen before.
I didn't get breakfast.
Well, he didn't get up.
You didn't wake me up.
Whatever.
You gave me that little fake nudge. Derek.
I tell everybody when I find out when it's breakfast, and I set my alarms, and I let everybody in the room know, hey,
I'm getting up. I'm getting breakfast.
And
so she's true to her word. She's
up.
Get up. I was like, dang.
Then
you come back to the room telling me all about it.
You should have
had breakfast. It was so good.
It was so good.
I was like, what? That's messed up. Did you bring me a plate?
We couldn't take it.
You better go down there and get your own. So we want to keep going about the breakfast.
Okay. No. The breakfast was delicious. So I want to go back to the day that we arrived in Madrid, and the lady was like, "No breakfast for you tomorrow when you're and on purpose."
We're trying to check in.
So I was like, "Okay, you're not hurting my feelings. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna whip out this itinerary that I pulled up on this train, and we about to hit the road."
Yeah, that's because my soccer match got postponed. So Michaela to the rescue with her plans.
Sure did. That hour and a half long train ride, I was writing down ideas.
You were putting your pen to work.
I sure was. And the first step was the Royal Palace.
The Royal Palace is an amazing building. That place is super massive. It's kind of overkill for that place to be that large. There's probably 5 people who actually would live there, plus all the servants.
I think it's the largest palace in Europe.
No doubt.
But the thing about it, the royal family no longer lives there. They use it
for
formal things.
Events.
But they don't live in it anymore. Right. They used to, yes. But not anymore, which is like, oh.
It is massive. It is massive. And we did a tour, and we saw probably, 5% of it?
Yeah.
It's so much to see.
It was room after room after room. But one thing about the Royal Palace, I do have a regret.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
Is that we didn't get our tickets beforehand.
Standing in line.
We stood in line every bit of an hour.
Yes. It was a long line. It stretched from that entrance to the other building, which is maybe 200 yards apart.
Yeah. It was about close to a football field length.
Maybe a little longer than that. I think it was longer than that.
Yeah. And so there were 2 lines. There was a line for those with... Actually, there were 3.
There was 3 lines.
There was a line for tours.
Mm-hmm. Guided tours.
And get this, y'all, while Derek and I were in this line, guy comes up, hey, I'm offering tours. You get to skip the line. I'm like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
My tail should have just went on and did it. Because when he walked away, that's when our hour-long wait started.
Began.
So we could have skipped all that.
Yep.
And went on in. But so there's 3 lines. There's guided tours along with tour groups.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the line for people with tickets.
Right.
Like they got their tickets online. And then there's us trying to buy tickets at the door.
Those who are going to buy it on the spot.
And man, if you ever want to go to the Royal Palace in Madrid, which is worth it, buy your tickets in advance.
Yes, get them online.
Because we stood in line so long that we were able to visit. There's a church in the same little courtyard. Yeah. London Rose and I were able to go walk around the church.
I had to stand in line to hold our place.
Sure did.
You're a beast of burden.
It's beautiful. Another cathedral. beautiful cathedral. And even with us walking around there, seeing everything in that cathedral, we still had to come out and stand in line about another 30 minutes.
Yeah. And it felt like the line didn't even move while y'all were gone.
No.
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Next time we're buying our tickets online. But this was an impromptu trip, so
yeah, we didn't
know now.
Yeah.
Get them online.
But we were in Spain a few years ago, and we went to the Royal Palace, and it happened to be closed.
Yeah.
So it's like we just can't get it together.
Yeah. We finally got in, and I was very impressed with when we walked in to the left. They had all the old gear for the army in there.
Yeah, the armory.
The armory?
Oh,
yeah.
man, the armory room.
It's crazy.
If you are a Game of Thrones fan, it just
or
feels
medieval
like...
fan.
Just
medieval.
a medieval fan.
Yeah.
But it just feels like you're walking around like the armory of King's Landing. It just... They had all these horse... skeleton like they were fully mannequins, horse mannequins that were wearing the armor
of the day.
So they had armor for, of course, the soldiers, and then they had the armor for the horses. They even had armor for the dogs.
The armor for the dogs
and
was the one.
Like, check this out. So we're talking about,
you never think about that. They had dogs in war. Well, we have dogs in war now, so I guess dogs have been a part of war for a long time.
They had shields, helmets,
everything,
breastplates,
body armor,
face plates,
everything.
For all the animals involved. And it was just this huge room, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful display.
Yeah.
You know, considering the type of room we were walking around, agents of death.
Yeah.
If you think about it, but
agents of chaos. And
and
it was mind blowing. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
That stuff had to weigh a ton, and you're trying to fight somebody wearing a metal suit with this giant sword
and chainmail.
I'm like, good grief.
And they're tiny people.
Yeah.
Like back then they were tiny. Could you imagine?
And it couldn't have been molded to each individual. It was probably like one size fits most. So some dudes had to be uncomfortable.
I don't know, but it was a lot.
It's just crazy.
So going into the Royal Palace, what you can expect to see is, the armory and also like all of the rooms that were used. All
of the gold
rooms.
They gold plated everything.
Like rooms we just didn't know. Here's room is blue. You know what it felt like? If you've ever been to the White House and seen the rooms in the White House,
never been.
It feels a lot like that when you just go from room to room to room. But the thing about in the White House has some rooms that you can't enter. They're just kind of roped off, and you have to stand in the door and just peek in. There, you're able to enter all of the rooms. You walk through, but of course,
some things are roped off.
Yeah, some parts are roped off. And one thing that I noticed were all the busts.
Yes,
they had a lot of
bunch
busts.
Of them. Well, every room had at least one.
Yeah, that I was motivated after that trip to go home, and I bought another bust. I have 3 busts in our house.
Ooh, boy.
I'm obsessed with busts.
And then they had these really, really extremely tall ceilings.
Oh, yeah.
That reached to the heavens, and they were coated in gold. It's like everything was coated in gold.
Yeah. Opulence.
It just blows my mind how much they wasted all that gold. I think that's wasteful. But that's how they did it back then. And,
in true European form, the ceilings were breathtaking. Every room had an elaborate ceiling.
Yes, they did.
I really wish I had to listen to the tour guide and got the
guided tour.
Got the story.
Yeah.
Of the ceiling.
That is a regret.
Yeah.
We should have done that.
I mean, with the molding and the paintings, and it was just beautiful. Just the attention to detail.
And the people. So each room was endorsed by a person, I guess. I don't know how they did it. Each room was like the St. George room, and you would see his bust in there. Like,
yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. And then we walked in this room that had that really long table. That little dinner table was like 9 miles long. They still hold events in that room.
Yeah.
And that's just nuts.
You know what that house was given?
What?
It was given Bridgerton.
I don't know what
the
that
Queen's
is.
Palace.
Oh, that thing. Is that Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's your
what
thing.
it felt like. Queen Charlotte's house.
That's European, so that's right in line.
Mm-hmm.
That's right in line with the European. So
yeah, because even the throne room, it was really nice. But the weird thing with the throne room is like when you enter it from the side.
Yeah.
And they rope it off so you don't get a direct view of the thrones.
You kind of lean over the rope.
I was leaning too.
Leaning over the rope, trying to take selfies.
You already know. So you get like a profile view of the throne, the thrones, unless you walk to the back of the room and then you can kind of get an angled view. So that's the only thing. It's like, oh, y'all should rope it differently. So
they should rope it to where you can walk in front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because from the side, you can't take those Instagram photographs.
They don't care. Like, you ain't finna touch our royal thrones.
This
Get
one
y'all
group,
over there.
you remember you took pictures for those one group. Dude's leaning all over. Okay, can you take it right here? I'm like,
I got his shot.
You got his shot.
He was very pleased.
He was pleased. He was very pleased with your shot. Man, that was a lot of walking too. That place is enormous.
Yeah.
We went to the what is that? When you first walk in and you're going up the steps, like when we first walk in, and they had, was it?
Like a little museum in there.
Yeah.
Like an art gallery. Now, one thing I did, and I'm going to let you guys know, if you guys have children like we do that still walk around with stuffed dolls.
Can't do it.
London Rose had this doggone Coopster, not a Coopster, who was this
Bowser.
guy? Bowser.
You had to put Bowser in a locker.
The dude was like, you can't have that.
You can't have that
She
in here.
was looking at him like, but it's my plushie.
But this is my plushie. He was like, you got to put that in a locker. I don't care what you think.
And it just so happens, as we was walking over to a locker, I asked someone else, and it was like, oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And so she got to keep her plushie.
He was just being a jerk.
I just think he probably thought it was a backpack because it was so big.
Yeah. That is a big plushie.
And she's 11, so he's probably like, why is she holding it?
Yeah. Anyway, so from the palace, we go back to our favorite spots, Plaza de Mayor and London Rose, the greatest restaurant on planet Earth, Kauai Cafe. She could not get enough of that place, and I see why. It's pretty appealing. They have a nice vibe in there for kids and adults. So I like when you have to put on your ears, your little ears. No, they go all out, and she really loves that.
And your bear pancakes.
And the pancakes. What did she get? She got pancakes again?
She got pancakes again.
Yeah, she got the colorful pancakes.
And I got like some green juice.
Yes. That wasn't good, was it?
It was good.
Okay. I just don't think green juice at all is good.
And blue. Somebody at the table had blue.
That was London Rose.
Oh, yeah.
I had a Pepsi.
Boring.
Yeah, I was boring. I couldn't take. I was saving for our restaurant in the market.
Yeah.
We went back.
Mercado de San Miguel.
We went back to get seconds.
Chorizo.
That's how good it was. We went back. We made a special trip back from Sevilla to get seconds.
And get our chorizo in the wooden bowl and wooden fork.
Yes. Man, that stuff is delicious.
Oh, yeah.
It was delicious. And, so we're back there. We didn't do anything crazy.
No.
After that, we ate, walked around a little bit. You stopped at the shoe store. Yes,
we looked around. Oh, we looked around in the shoe store, and we looked around in a store that sold rubber duckies.
Rubber duckies.
Like all types of rubber. They had a Jason rubber ducky. They had a doggone Chucky rubber ducky. Who else did they have?
Anything. Think of it, they had
a LeBron James rubber ducky.
Which is crazy. I thought, why are we stopping in here? It was so many people in there buying rubber duckies.
Because it's random.
It is so random.
You guys, you don't know how bad I wanted to buy the R2-D2 rubber ducky. And I should have, because I have not seen one like that since.
We should have bought some ducks.
We should have. And I'm not even into rubber duckies like that.
But somebody is. They have a store
and
on a main street.
And they're a nice size.
Yeah.
Rubber ducky.
Yeah. I think they're pretty, what, 3 for $12?
Yeah.
I don't know what you do with those rubber duckies, but they were cool.
They were really cool. The next time we go, we're going to have to go to the rubber ducky store.
Yep. And some zapatos. Those shoes were nice.
They were a little
expensive.
They were muy caro.
I think it was $150
for some slides.
Yeah. $150.
And these were euros, so you know what an euro
it's more than the US dollar.
Yes.
It's like, nah, we're not doing that for some slides.
I wanted to so bad. I started to turn on my charm, be like, please, let's just go on and get it.
I had walked out the building.
When are we going to see these? We haven't seen these shoes. Oh, we went to a bookstore as well. Used bookstore.
Yeah.
Right outside.
That was right next
Plaza
door
Mayor?
to the soccer store.
Oh, yeah. We went to the soccer store.
Because I was fiending for my soccer.
Lord.
Yeah, but the bookstore was nice. It had the, you wanted to find, what book were you looking for? You
just
were looking
anything dealing with home decor.
No, I thought you were looking for a specific book.
Nope.
Okay, I'm wrong. Sorry. But yeah, they were right next door to each other, which made it awesome. So they had some cool shops on that street. And that's at the Opera stop on the Metro.
Yes.
Yep. So the Opera stop on the Metro, when you get off, you go to the left, all those shops are down there. The shoe store is on the left. Then you have to walk a block and make a right. And then you'll find the soccer store and the bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of have that memorized.
Then after that, we decided, we had enough fun. We had been in Spain at that point for almost 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
And we just wanted to go back and relax in the hotel.
Because
at that time, we officially had a room.
Oh, time out. This whole time, I didn't have a voice.
Oh, don't get me started.
I totally forgot about this part. I lose my voice when we go to the palace, right? That's when I start losing my voice.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong with my voice?
Derek don't like to wash his hands, so he stay getting sick.
No.
He touch on everything, touch on every knob.
Mm-hmm. Usually when you get sick, it hurts when you swallow. I had no pain. It hurt when I spoke.
And we went to the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Derek and I actually went to the pharmacy in the Plaza Mayor, and he got some medicine. That medicine was like crack, wasn't it? It worked right away, didn't it?
It cleared it right up. Right up. I'm like, what do they put in this stuff? But yeah, so I lost my voice. I didn't have a sore throat. My throat didn't hurt. It wasn't burning. My voice just stopped working. And they had this spray. It was actually pretty good. It tasted well, too. And I started getting my voice back. About when we got back to the hotel, I started to get my voice back. So I guess that's 5 hours? It worked in 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I got my voice back. But yeah, I lost my voice for most of the day that day. Well, we're back at the hotel.
No, we got to talk about when we tried to leave off the subway. We had our red car. We thought we was hot stuff with our red subway car, because that red car, we put 10 trips on there.
Yep, I forgot about that.
Do you remember how much you paid for it, each ticket?
I can't recall the price of each ticket.
A very affordable rate.
Yes,
so
yes.
You get 10 trips on this one red card. And we get to, this stop. And we have to get off. And we're thinking, get off and change trains. But like, no, they're like, get off and exit the station.
Right. And
so we're like scanning our thing. And it's like,
mm-hmm.
And we're like, wait a minute. I know we got rides on this thing.
Yep.
And they were like, that's when we found out that we had exited the city center and our red cards are no longer valid. We were
in zone B1.
Yeah.
And our cards are valid in zone A.
So, and this has happened to me before when traveling abroad, and usually I would find someone that's about to buy a ticket. And I just give them mine. Like,
about to get on the train.
Right. And there was one lady with us that needed tickets, and I told Derek to give them to her, and he, of course, don't want to listen to me, and the lady walks off.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting here. We had like six rides on each card.
On each card.
So you're
3
talking
cards.
about 18 rides. And don't you know, we tried our best to give them to people. Like, no. Like, we're like, yo, we don't want anything from you. These are free.
I don't want. Nope. It's a scam. Nope.
Like, they are running from us.
No.
And we're like,
you can have these 6 rides on each one of these cars. 18. Yeah. We don't want anything from you. Yeah. Just take them.
And I felt so bad because all this is in Spanish. I'm like questioning. I was like, is my Spanish not right? Like, why are these folk running away from me? I'm trying to give them free train rides. And then we just ended up just keeping the tickets.
No. So
and then we left them in the hotel room with a note that says
for housekeeping.
For whoever 18.
So when I travel and I have access to something, I always give it to the people at the hotel because I know they're going to use it. The lady, she would have used it. I get it. But I like doing this for the people at the hotel. It's my form of tipping housekeeping.
Oh, okay. All right.
So someone there got 18 trips. So that was a good tip.
Oh, Lord. Okay. And now it's time for us to go to the airport.
We can't do that. But we're at this hotel having a conversation about an upcoming event. And you recall what I said? When I get to Jamaica, I ain't doing nothing. I'm doing a whole lot of nothing. And while we're at this hotel, I saw you on your phone. You were probably planning events. Were you not?
Okay, so let me fill you guys in. So when we were scheduled to leave Madrid, we had a wedding to attend in Jamaica like 4 days later, 3-4 days later. And so our last night in Madrid, Derek was talking about how he wasn't going to do nothing. Well, I said it too. I'm like, I'm going to rest because we did so much. We've been on the go, yada, yada, yada. And, it is what it is. So also, I had already started planning stuff to do in Jamaica before we went to Madrid.
I knew it.
Before we went to Madrid.
You didn't tell me.
Because I did it all at the same time, simultaneously, So I had my plans. It was only 3 things that I wanted to do in Jamaica, and I was okay if I didn't get to do them.
I wanted to lay with you on the beach, and that was it. Go to the wedding, lay with you. That's all I wanted to do. You had other plans.
Well, let's talk about Madrid. So that night passed really, really well. We got up early the next morning.
You had your amazing breakfast.
Oh, man, that breakfast was so good. I'm picturing it in my mind, even the way they laid it all out. Okay, so let's get off of the breakfast. So we made it to the airport, and I was sad to learn that my global entry, TSA pre-check.
We almost didn't make it to the right terminal.
Yeah, the TSA pre-check didn't quite work in Spain.
I don't think it works in Spain.
They don't really use it. They don't use it in Jamaica either. So, Derek.
Are you talking about global entry?
No, that's when you enter the country, the United States.
Gotcha.
So Derek, we get to customs.
Ooh.
And they look at London Road's passport. They look at mine. We get stamps. Yeah. And they get to Derek. And they were like, Derek, step to the side. And he was like, what's going on?
Why I got to step to the side?
And they were like, how did you get into our country? Because you don't have a stamp.
No, she asked me, you got another passport? Like,
no,
I just got the one.
So how did you get here?
She was like, so how'd you get in this country? It's like, with them? And then she kept flipping the pages.
And she called someone too.
She kept looking. She looked at me. She started back flipping the pages. I was like, ooh wee.
They were about to make Derek stay, and it would have broke my heart to have to get back on that plane without him. But I had let him know, Derek, anything go down, we got to take separate flights.
Well, the crazy part about it is you start walking away. I'm like, hey, Mikala, come back. They're not going to let me come with y'all. You just start easing off. I'm like, hold up. This woman's for real going to leave me.
I had to save my seat on the plane.
That plane wasn't going nowhere. We were at the airport 5 hours early. No, ma'am. Oh, man.
You know I wouldn't leave you.
Yeah, I was. I thought I was about to be detained. I thought they were going to hold me. because she asked me a couple of times. I'm like, I came in the same time they came in. You might need to check the tape. I don't know what y'all do over here, but yeah, when they got here, I got here. And she said something about, well, you got to make sure you get your passport stamped.
On the way in.
And I was like, I don't think that's my job. And then I walked off.
Yeah.
Because it's not my job.
Yeah, because, it's different now. There's countries that stamp and those that don't. So we kind of, I don't know about you, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't know until I get there.
But I figured if your job is customs, you know to stamp every passport that comes through. Because you do it at least 8 hours a day.
Yep.
So you almost got me detained, sir.
So as we're trying to walk to our gate, our passport gets checked about 4 times.
5 more times.
It was a lot. But then we get on the plane finally, and we get up in the air, and they wheel out the food. You guys, I don't know what it is, but Iberia, is it Iberia?
Iberia, yeah.
Iberia has some of the best
airline food in the industry.
Yes, so they rolled out these little sandwiches, right, that had chorizo on it. And London Rose was like, I don't want it.
Because I'll take it.
And then she was like, wait, I do want one. Because she saw the snack was a Kit Kat.
Kit Kat, yeah.
So she wanted to get the whole meal package so she can get that Kit Kat. Man, I took her sandwich so fast.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was delicious.
And it was literally just bread and meat. I don't even think cheese was on it.
Yeah, cheese was on it.
Cheese was on
it?
Yeah. I didn't even taste the cheese because the meat was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
And it had like pudding or something.
The pudding, yeah. It was some type of pudding.
Everything was delicious. Yeah. I was like, you know what? This is the way to fly. I can only imagine what they doing up there in first class.
Man, first class.
We had them budget tickets, so we
first class. They probably had a shelf and everything up there.
We always fly on them budget rates.
Yeah. Penny pitched, baby.
But it was nice though. It was very, very nice.
Yeah.
And so then when we landed, our first stop in the U.S. was Chicago. That was our port of entry. So you all know that when your port of entry is when you go through customs, right? So our port of entry was Chicago, and I have global entry, which global entry is basically TSA pre-check for international
Why don't
flights.
I have global entry?
And it's, if you have the option to get TSA pre-check, what that allows you to do is to be able to go through TSA quickly because you would have already had an interview beforehand, and then so now you're cleared to go through TSA. You don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take your computers out the bag.
It's like a fast pass.
Basically it's a fast pass through TSA.
Through custom, yeah, TSA.
Through TSA. And global entry is fast pass through customs. Same thing, right? So our trips, right, we're starting in April, and I started global entry like December, January, something like that.
You started for everybody?
And so I filled out mine. I filled out London Road. When I got to Derek's, they were asking a lot of questions I didn't know the answer to. What? So I would call Derek. Derek wouldn't answer the phone.
You don't know your husband's information?
I don't.
What's my first and last name?
I don't know your work info.
Baby.
So for global entry, they ask questions about your work information, previous addresses, and things like that. Well, there was a time where Derek had to work in Louisiana. I didn't, and that fell.
They wanted all that too.
They did. If that fell within the realm of the scope of the time.
So how many years they want out?
I don't remember, but I didn't have that address.
Gotcha.
And so I was calling.
I didn't know that.
Derek wouldn't answer the phone, and I tried that like 3 times. And guess what I did? After that, I sent him the link. I said, "Yo, here's the link."
Sometimes my phone doesn't ring because I'm in those rural areas.
Probably, but
did you call both my phones or just one?
So I sent him the link. Let him know the fee was $100. We got to pay the $100. I'ma do it. And before you know it, we flying to Spain and back, and he never did it. So, I'm extra as heck. So I'm going to milk it for what it's worth. But poor London Rose, even though I did her global entry at the same time as mine, she never got her interview. And
wait, did she go to Huntsville with you?
she went to, and that's another thing. So when you sign up for global entry, they have to give you an interview for you to meet with the officials.
Right.
You bring your passports and all this kind of stuff. Well,
make sure you're legit.
You have to, pick a date. And I didn't have there were no available dates.
Here in Lexington?
First of all, there are no meetings conducted in Lexington, period.
Really?
I would have to go to Cincinnati or Louisville or
Nashville?
Indianapolis.
Okay.
Nashville is one.
Okay.
So, and I looked at that. I even looked at Memphis. Memphis had an opening the very next day. And mind you, I did my online application like 6 at night. Mm-hmm. There was no way I was going to be able to hop in my car and make it to this 8 a.m. meeting.
That would have been an awful ride. Yeah,
so Memphis was out. But however, I had an opening in Huntsville, and I have a friend in Huntsville that we do something. We do a second Christmas there. So I was like, hey, we can do second Christmas, and I can get my meeting. And so that's what I did. Went to second Christmas. I had my meeting. The whole time, still waiting for London Rose. London Rose didn't get cleared. So they do a background check on you. For some reason, my 11-year-old child could not get her background check cleared. I'm like, this girl, what's taking y'all? Because I cleared background, I want to say the next day or the day after that. It was very quick for me. But
so when you went to Huntsville, they didn't interview London Rose?
They did not.
Because she hadn't had her background check.
Right. She sat in the room with us, but he said, I can't interview her because we have a list and we have to stick to our list.
Okay. Gotcha.
So she just sat there, and then later on we got an email stating that if you have not had a chance to interview, you can do it at your port of entry upon returning into the country.
So why would it take so long for her background?
I have maybe Luna Rose, I don't know. She's
doing something.
She moonlighting, doing other stuff. Who knows? But her fingerprint's somewhere. But so when we landed in Chicago, I went straight through.
Oh yes, I forgot about this part.
I went straight through. They literally scanned my face, and that was it. I was done.
You were done.
And so I went and got our luggage. So I made good use of it. I didn't really rub it in Derek's face.
Yes, you did. The whole time you were just looking and smiling.
No. So, and then that's when we found out that London Rose,
she could do her interview.
She could do her interview. So Derek just went through. I was like, hey, did you get your global entry? She was like, no. I said, let's go back. Yeah. Go back. And then
I didn't know what they were talking about. Like, she did that already. She went to Huntsville for that.
Yes, because they asked Derek about it because, she popped up in their system. Because get this, London Rose got cleared for global entry our last night in Sevilla.
Okay.
Like 2 nights before we left Spain, that's when her email cleared. Now, mind you, I put that application in like 3 months prior, but it cleared while we were in Spain. Thank goodness.
Right.
And I had no idea it cleared because I stopped checking the email. Mm-hmm. So she went in, she took her picture, she did all her fingerprints, and she was good. So now Luna Rose is officially
global entry.
A global entry card carrier because her card came in the mail. She's proud of it. And so we're going to tell you another funny story about global entry.
In another episode. What did she say the other day about her global entry? What was the little joke she said?
Today on our ride here.
What did she say? I can't remember.
I don't forget, but she basically made a comment about
can we go ahead and use it?
Yes,
so I don't have to stand in line or something.
Yeah, she wants to use her global entry.
Oh, she said I don't have to stand in line with Papa no more.
Yeah.
I was like, what? That's messed up. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and get my global entry done.
I recommend especially if you're coming in through a busy airport like Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Atlanta
most definitely like Atlanta.
Because I tell y'all what, next episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more in the next episode.
All right.
So, this may be crazy. I don't think you saw this because I was going through the non-global entry portion all by myself.
Peasant.
I was all by myself. So in Chicago, O'Hare, they have this box that says, I think it's the marijuana amnesty program. And I'm thinking like, you've gone through security with your marijuana and then they want you to put it in this box? How? You can't even come to the airport with that.
I didn't see that.
I'm gonna show it to you. I got a photo.
Probably
of that.
Those that went through global entry passed that box.
Yeah, probably global entry folks. Screw you. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. I'm Derek.
Makayla.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Ooh, if you made it this far, you are the true champion. You could have been anywhere, doing anything, but you instead chose to spend your time with us. And for that, we say thank you.
I'm Derek.
I'm Makayla. Rate, like, and subscribe. Do good, be good. Until next time.